Okay, this is 6.2 and all about determining if two polygons are similar. Remember, polygons are 3 or more sided shapes that are closed. So 3 plus sided shapes where each line meets 2 more. All that means is that when we're looking at the shapes, there are no gaps where there's no lines touching each other. There's no holes in the diagrams when you're looking at the outlines of it. Okay. And remember, when we're talking about similar figures, in order for two figures to be similar, they must meet both of the following qualifications. All corresponding angles must be equal, and all corresponding sides must be proportional. What that means is that when you do corresponding side divided by its corresponding side on the other diagram, you get the same thing no matter which pair of corresponding sides you are dividing, as long as you keep the same figure on the top and the same one on the bottom throughout each calculation. So as an example, we're going to go over, are the two pentagons shown, so 5-sided shapes? Are they shown? Are they similar? If so, explain how you know. If not, explain what you would need to know. So given off the information that we have, angles that are marked with the same shapes are equal to each other. So we know angle A and angle T are equal. So things that we know. We know angle A equals angle T. We know angle C and angle V are equal. And we know angle E and angle X are equal. Okay, that's it for angles that we know. We only know 3. And then we know side. So we know side XW divided by ED is 6 centimeters over 3 centimeters, which is equal to 2. And then we also know VW and CD, which is 5 centimeters over 2.5 centimeters, and that is also equal to 2. So as far as the information that we know, yes, these are similar, but do we have all the necessary information to be able to determine that they are for sure similar? We don't know angle B and angle U, so unknown, angle B, angle U, angle D, and angle W. We don't know those 4 angles. So we don't know if they're equal or not. They could be, they could not be. We don't know. Okay. We also don't know how long side AB is. We don't know how long side BC is, and we don't know how long side AE is. We also don't know the corresponding sides in the other pentagon as well. So we don't know TX. We don't know TU, and we don't know UV. Okay, so when we're looking at corresponding, BC would go with UV, AB with TX, and AE with AB with TU, and AE with TX. Okay, that just means that they're in the same position on the diagram. But with all of these unknowns, it's actually impossible to tell whether these two are similar. We would need at least one or both angles, and we would need more sides. We can't determine if they're similar if we don't have the side lengths. Okay, so answer is we do not have enough information. Information to determine if they are similar. or not? Okay, so we actually can't determine the answer to this question. We need more information. We need to know these unknowns to be able to determine 100% whether they're similar or not. So, but we also need to be able to, in this unit, work with shapes where we're given and be able to determine if they're similar that way. But for right now, I'd like you to try page 266, numbers 1 and 2. Once you have those finished, unpause the video and come back. Okay, now that those are finished, how would you determine if two given parallelograms, so ABCD and WXYZ, are similar? With parallelograms, we know that this is parallel to this, but they're also the same. This one's parallel to this. They're also the same. Okay? And then the same goes for these ones. They're equal. So that means that this is also 8. This is also 12. This is also 8. And this is also 6. But what it also means for angles is that angle B and angle D would be equal. So this is also 70. Right? Angle X and angle Z would be equal. So those are also 70. But what about angle A and C? If our angles are 70 and all of the angles add up to the same thing, and for a parallelogram, A and C would also have to be equal to W and X. So those ones have to be equal. We don't know what their measure is, but we know because of properties of parallelograms and properties of four-sided shapes that our interior angles add up to 360. So we know that when we are adding up our angles, given that angles that are across, so A and C are across, B and D are across, are equal in parallelograms, just like X and Z and W and Y. So what we can state is we can state angle A equals angle C, which equals angle W and angle Y. Okay. We can also state angle B equals angle D equals angle X and equals angle Z. So we know we have fit one property already. Okay. So corresponding angles are equal. Okay. So we fit one property. But now we need to double check to make sure that we fit the other one. So we have side XY. So side XY is 8. So XY, its corresponding side on the big one would be the one in the same position. So BC, which is 12. Whoops. BC. So we have 8 inches over 12 inches. And what we get for an answer, we put it in our calculator, 8 divided by 12, we get 0.666 repeating. Okay. Now what do we get if we do the other one? Okay. For the other one, we have W and X and A and B. So we have to keep the same one on top. So we did XY on top. For the other ones, we have to keep the side that is a part of that shape on top. So WX over AB, which is 6 inches over 8 inches, which is equal to 0.75. From looking at these two calculations that we've done, we can determine these are not the same number. So we don't fit both properties. So while all of our angles are equal, our shapes are not actually similar because corresponding sides are not proportional. Okay, so if even though we do meet one of the criteria, we don't meet both. So therefore, they are not similar. Okay. However, you cannot just go through and say, yes, they are similar. No, they are not. You need to show why. So we showed that all of the angles are equal. So we fit that criteria, and that's usually the easiest one to start with. And then we showed that the sides are not proportional because we didn't get the same number. 0.66 repeating and 0.75 are not equal. Okay, these are two properties to remember when you are working through. Okay, so you have build your skills on page 268, 269, numbers 4 to 6. And then you only have a couple practice your skills. So on page 269, you have numbers 1 to 4. Remember to hand your practice your skills in when you are done, or just leave your book with me at the end of the day. It's up to you what you would rather do. Okay, but remember your practice skills do need to get turned in for completion marks.